So, the Indiana Fever have announced their preseason schedule, and they have 2 games again. Actually, last year, they have 3. I think they might have had 3. I think they played the Mystics, the Dream, and Brazil. Am I right in saying they played the Mystics, the Dream, and they played Brazil? Like, that is I'm pretty sure anyway. He played a lot last year, but this year it's 2, and we're going to talk about this later. Obviously, nothing has been said in terms of the player or the players, but as far as I'm aware, there are some players that are very, very annoyed. Don't claim to have inside sources, but again, my sources are a source of a source of a source, and that's the way I like it. That is the way I like it. I don't claim to be an insider. I don't claim to have insider information. I like just being able to talk about the sport like a fan. I like being a fan. I don't want to be a reporter. I don't want to be the credential media, because I'm not going to lie, there is a standard they're held to. With the advantages that you get with certain credentials, certain access, there's also a standard you are held to that I don't really want to be held to. So anyway, this is it right here. They're playing the New York Liberty on the 25th of April. On the 30th, they are playing the Dallas Wings. And then there is a big gap. There's a gap of over a week. The Indiana Fever have a good enough start to the year. Very little traveling. Very, very little traveling. When it comes down to it, I think this is the Wings' only game in preseason. This might be the Wings' only game. So the Wings have 1 preseason game. And for me, it doesn't really matter too much. It says here they host a neutral site game for their second game, which means it's probably a Toyota Antelopes type job. So last year, if you remember the Dallas Wings, they played against the Aces and they lost, and then they faced off against the Toyota Antelopes, and it's probably something along those lines. They might be playing in a different country. They might go up to Canada. I don't know, the tempo are there. But you just never know. They probably have 2 games. One of them is probably against one of them is probably against a team that's not a WNBA team. And I wonder what type of teams are going to come around. There could be, because of the World Cup coming in September and World Cup qualifiers, there is a world where somebody like a Brazil national team, like a Japan national team, might go and play these teams. Again, any WNBA team is beating them. Maybe Japan. Yeah. A WNBA team should beat Japan. Not an impossibility, but a WNBA team should beat Japan. They should beat any of them. I think Nigeria, they could go and play Nigeria. I think Nigeria's best chance of competing would be if Kiki Ariefen, as far as I'm aware, she was eligible to play for them, but she's obviously with the Team USA. And you know what? Good for her. Good for her being with Team USA. I'd say she's very happy with that, being with that team at a young age. And because FIBA never cleared the Ogwumike sisters, so obviously they're not with the squad either, so that is something. But it's clear that we know what the main matchup is. What is wrong with this right here? It's the Fever one, yeah. We know what the main matchup is, and it is the Fever versus the Wings. It is the Fever versus the Wings. I think everybody knows. That's the big one. And this game, there has never been a game that matters less than preseason versus the Wings. I don't want to see Caitlin Clark play more than 12 minutes in this game. Because it's in Cambridge, because it's Caitlin versus Paige, and because a lot of people will be going to this game that can't afford tickets for the real Caitlin versus Paige game, I am playing Paige. I'm playing Caitlin the first 5 minutes of the game, and I'm playing Caitlin the first 5 minutes of the second half. And I am making sure the arena is open an hour early so the fans can see Caitlin warm up for an hour. And you just go to Caitlin, just do a shooting session, you're playing 10 minutes. The fans, not that they're going to be happy, but Caitlin, go to do a shooting session. That is all she should be playing in this game. Against the Liberty, play 15 minutes. Play 15. Get the bench in. last year, it really annoyed me last year when they, how little they played Gillia Lane, Jaylen Brown, KK Timpson, and they had 3 games, and Bree Hall. Like, they played them so little. I'm like, just play all your players that are going to barely play. Like, if you saw the Chicago Sky played so many people that were never going to make their team. And, yeah, played them all. Genuinely played them all. Like, give Yvonne Egypt more than the fourth quarter. I think, was it last year they didn't even run, like, the main team through OT? And, like, I know, was it last year, I think, when they played the Mystics, they were way down, and they actually fought their way back into the game to win in overtime. But I'm like, it doesn't really matter if you win or lose in preseason. It really doesn't matter. Like, if you win or lose a preseason game, it doesn't. And obviously, you got Kelsey Mitchell here, the Fever making sure we know Kelsey Mitchell's staying. There's a reason why Lexi Hull's on no graphics. Because there's a world where they don't keep Lexi Hull. Even though, yes, obviously they're showing up to rival with these players. But the odds on Ari being still on the team next year, extremely low. Extremely low. With the amount of money that Ari is going to get on the open market, Ari has shown that she can be a playoff caliber starting point guard, which she was when she was with the Fever. The Fever cannot afford Ari McDonald as a backup for Caitlin. They don't have the money for Ari. Just because the LA Sparks were dumbasses. And, like, had the Sparks cut Ari instead of, like, 2 days before the season, had they cut her in February, she would have been signed as a starter for one of the lower teams. But look, at the end of the day, if the max contract is 1.3 mil, Ari's worth 700k. If you're going to keep Ari, you're getting rid of Lexi or Sophie. And if you make that choice, you're crazy. I would fire both of these if that choice is made. But that being said, like, I think they're making it very clear Kelsey Mitchell is going to be on the team. But also, it's very clear, you can see Caitlin Clark, Paige Bueckers, 2 head-to-head battles in 10 days. I want the Fever to lose. I want the Fever to lose that second game bad. I want the Fever to lose that second game badly. And if you want to say, but like, you want to win in preseason, the New York Liberty started off last season 11-0. They started last season 11-0. And before John Quell got hurt and Phoebus went to Eurobasket, then Stewie got hurt. Like, till the playoffs, I don't think they played one full game healthy. But, like, they literally had... they lost... I think they lost a preseason game by, like, 30. And... they lost a preseason game by 30. And then... they lost... I think it was to the Sun they might have lost by 30. It was someone bad, anyway. Or was it the Sky? I can't even remember. And then they went and barely beat the Toyota Antelopes. And the year before, they lost to the Sky by 50 in preseason. So preseason does not matter. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.